You're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. The room is dark, but your mind is anything but quiet. You've heard it 1,000 times. Manifest your dream life. Just visualize. Just believe. Just let the universe deliver. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people who try to manifest their dream life never see it happen. Not because they're lazy, not because they don't want it enough, but because the system they're using is broken from the start. Tonight, I want to take you somewhere different. Not to a fantasy, not to a place where you simply wish and wait, but to a place where you can actually build the mental architecture of your future. A place where science and story collide, where the mind's hidden machinery is exposed, and you finally see why some people seem to bend reality to their will, while others are left wondering what went wrong. Let's start with a question that might make you uncomfortable. What if the way you've been taught to manifest is actually keeping you stuck? What if the endless affirmations, the vision boards, the late-night journaling, what if all of it is just a distraction from the real work? The work that happens in the silent moments, when you're alone with your thoughts, just before sleep. That's when your mind is most open, most vulnerable, most powerful. That's when you can rewire the deepest circuits of your brain. But first, let's get honest about why you're here. Maybe you're tired of feeling like you're always one step behind. Maybe you've tried every trick in the book, read the books, watched the videos, listened to the podcasts. Maybe you've even had moments where it felt like things were finally shifting, only to watch them slip away again. Or maybe you're just curious about whether there's something more to this whole manifestation thing than wishful thinking and empty promises. Here's what you need to know. Manifestation isn't magic. It's not about sending out good vibes and waiting for the universe to drop a new life in your lap. It's about understanding how your mind works, how it filters reality, how it shapes your decisions, how it quietly sabotages you when you're not paying attention. It's about discipline, mental toughness, and the willingness to face the parts of yourself that you'd rather ignore. So tonight, as you settle in, I want you to do something different. I want you to let go of the hype, the noise, the endless stream of advice. I want you to listen, not just to my voice, but to the quiet signals your mind is sending you. Because the truth is, your brain is running a program every night, whether you realize it or not. And that program is either building your dream life or quietly destroying it. Let's talk about the science for a moment. Every night as you drift toward sleep, your brain enters a state called hypnagogia. It's a strange in-between place, half awake, half dreaming. In this state, your mind is more suggestible than at any other time. The boundaries between conscious and subconscious blur. Old memories, fears, and desires float to the surface. This is the window where real change happens. Not when you're wide awake and distracted, but when your defenses are down and your mind is open. But here's the catch. Most people waste this window. They fill it with worry, regret, scrolling through social media, replaying arguments, or planning tomorrow's to-do list. They let their minds run wild and then wonder why nothing ever changes. The uncomfortable math is this: if you spend just 10 minutes every night feeding your mind with anxiety, that's over 60 hours a year spent programming yourself for stress and failure. Multiply that by a decade, and you've spent more than 600 hours, almost a full month, training your brain to expect disappointment. Now, imagine if you flipped that script. Imagine if, instead of letting your mind spiral, you used those 10 minutes to deliberately shape your future, not with empty affirmations, but with focused, disciplined mental rehearsal. This isn't about pretending you already have what you want. It's about building the neural pathways that make it possible. It's about training your mind to see opportunities where others see obstacles, to act with purpose when others freeze in fear. Let me tell you a story. Years ago, a group of Olympic athletes were studied as they prepared for the games. Some trained their bodies relentlessly. Others spent hours in mental rehearsal, visualizing every movement, every breath, every moment of the competition. When the results came in, the athletes who combined physical training with mental rehearsal outperformed everyone else. Their brains had already run the race 1,000 times before they ever set foot on the track. But here's the twist. You don't have to be an athlete to use this system. You don't need a coach, a gym, or $1 million budget. All you need is a willingness to show up night after night and do the work, the real work, the work that happens in the dark when no one is watching. So as you lie here tonight, I want you to ask yourself, what do you really want? Not what you think you should want, not what your parents, your friends, or society expects from you. What do you, in the quietest part of your mind, truly desire? Maybe it's freedom, maybe it's love, maybe it's the courage to finally walk away from a life that doesn't fit. Whatever it is, hold it in your mind, not as a fantasy, but as a possibility that you can build step by step with discipline and intention. Now, let's get practical. I'm going to guide you through a process tonight. Not a magic spell, not a quick fix, but a system rooted in neuroscience, psychology, and the hard-won lessons of people who have actually changed their lives. This process has 3 parts. First, we'll clear the mental clutter, the noise that keeps you stuck. Second, we'll build a vivid, detailed vision of your dream life, not just what it looks like, but what it feels like, sounds like, even smells like. Third, we'll anchor that vision in your subconscious so that it starts to shape your decisions, your habits, your reality. But before we begin, I want you to make a promise to yourself. Not to me, not to anyone else, just to yourself. Promise that you'll show up, even when it's uncomfortable. Promise that you'll do the work even when it feels pointless, because the truth is, most people quit right before the breakthrough. They give up when the old patterns start to fight back. But if you can push through that resistance, if you can stay the course, you'll discover something most people never will: the power to shape your own reality. So, are you ready? Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Feel the weight of your body sinking into the mattress. Notice the tension in your shoulders, your jaw, your hands. Let it go. For the next few minutes, there's nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to do. This is your time, your mind, your future. Close your eyes if you haven't already. Let the darkness behind your eyelids become a canvas. You might notice thoughts drifting in, random, persistent, sometimes loud. That's normal. Your mind is used to running the show, especially at night. But tonight, you're going to do something different. You're going to become the observer, not the participant. Imagine you're sitting in a theater, watching your thoughts play out on a screen. You don't have to react. You don't have to judge. Just watch. This is the first step, clearing the mental clutter. Most people try to force their thoughts away, to silence the noise with sheer willpower. But the mind doesn't work that way. The more you fight, the louder the noise becomes. Instead, let the thoughts come. Notice them. Name them if you want. Worry, regret, hope, fear. Then let them drift by, like clouds across a night sky. You're not here to control the weather. You're here to watch it pass. Now, as you settle into this observer's seat, notice what happens to your body. Maybe your breath slows. Maybe your muscles release just a little. Maybe you feel a sense of space opening up inside your mind. This is the space where change happens, not in the chaos, but in the calm that follows. Neuroscientists call this the default mode network, the part of your brain that lights up when you're not focused on the outside world. It's where your deepest patterns live, and it's where you can start to rewrite them. Let's move to the second step. Building your vision. This isn't about daydreaming or wishful thinking. It's about constructing a blueprint for your future, detail by detail, sense by sense. Start with a single question. If you woke up tomorrow in your dream life, what would be different? Not just the big things, the house, the job, the bank account, but the small things. How would you feel when you opened your eyes? What would you see, hear, smell? Who would be there with you? What would your first thought be? Take a moment to let the answers come. Don't rush. Don't censor yourself. This is your vision, and it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. Maybe you see yourself in a sunlit room, the air filled with the scent of fresh coffee. Maybe you hear laughter from the next room, or the quiet hum of a city waking up. Maybe you feel a sense of peace or excitement or quiet confidence. Whatever it is, let it become real in your mind. The more vivid, the better. Here's where most people get it wrong. They stop at the surface. They imagine the outcome, but not the process. They see the finish line, but not the miles of road that lead there. Tonight, I want you to go deeper. Imagine not just what your dream life looks like, but what it takes to build it. What habits would you need to develop? What fears would you need to face? What skills would you need to learn? Picture yourself doing the work. Waking up early, practicing discipline, making tough decisions. See yourself failing, getting back up, trying again. This is where the real magic happens. Not in the fantasy, but in the rehearsal. There's a reason elite performers use this technique. When you visualize the process, not just the outcome, you train your brain to expect obstacles and to overcome them. You build mental toughness, not just wishful thinking. You prepare yourself for the moments when motivation fades and discipline is all you have left. And you start to see yourself as the kind of person who can handle whatever comes. Now, let's anchor this vision. This is the third step, and it's where most manifestation systems fall apart. They tell you to repeat affirmations, to act as if, to fake it until you make it. But your brain is smarter than that. It knows when you're lying to yourself. Instead, I want you to connect your vision to something real, something you can feel in your body, right now. Take a deep breath. As you inhale, imagine drawing your vision into your chest, letting it settle behind your heart. As you exhale, imagine sending that energy out through your body, down your arms, your legs, all the way to your fingertips and toes. Do this a few times. Inhale the vision, exhale the energy. Let your body become a container for your future. This isn't just poetic language. There's real science behind it. Studies show that when you pair visualization with physical sensation, you create stronger neural connections. You make your vision feel real, not just in your mind, but in your body. And the more real it feels, the more likely you are to act on it, consciously and unconsciously. Now, let's add one more layer. Imagine a timeline stretching out in front of you. On one end is where you are now. On the other is your dream life. In between are 1,000 tiny steps, some easy, some hard, some you can't even see yet. Most people focus on the gap, the distance between where they are and where they want to be. They get overwhelmed, discouraged, stuck. But tonight, I want you to focus on the next step, not the whole journey. Just the next step. What's one thing you could do tomorrow to move closer to your vision? Maybe it's waking up 10 minutes earlier. Maybe it's sending an email you've been avoiding. Maybe it's saying no to something that drains your energy. Whatever it is, see yourself doing it. Feel the resistance, the fear, the doubt. Then see yourself doing it anyway. That's discipline. That's mental toughness. That's how dreams become reality, one uncomfortable step at a time. As you hold this vision, notice what comes up. Maybe you feel excitement. Maybe you feel fear. Maybe you feel both. That's normal. Change is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. But discomfort is not a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you're moving, that you're alive, that you're on the path. Let's pause here. Let your breath return to normal. Let your mind rest. You've done the work tonight. Not just the easy work, but the hard work. The work of facing yourself, of seeing your future not as a fantasy, but as a possibility that you can build one step at a time. There's a strange irony in all of this. The world is obsessed with shortcuts, life hacks, quick wins, instant results. We're told that if we just think positive, if we just raise our vibration, everything will fall into place. But the truth is, the people who actually build their dream lives are the ones who learn to sit with discomfort. They're the ones who show up when it's boring, when it's hard, when no one is watching. They're the ones who understand that the mind is both a tool and a trap. Let's talk about that trap for a moment. Your brain is designed to keep you safe, not to make you happy. It's constantly scanning for threats, for reasons to stay where you are. Every time you try to change, to step outside your comfort zone, your mind will throw up roadblocks, doubt, fear, procrastination. It's not personal, it's biology. But if you don't understand this, you'll spend your life fighting yourself, wondering why you can't just think your way into a new reality. Here's where the numbers get uncomfortable. Studies show that nearly 80% of people who set goals at the start of the year abandon them by February, not because they're weak, but because they underestimate the power of their own habits. Habits are the invisible architecture of your life. They're the routines you fall back on when motivation fades, and they're built not in moments of inspiration, but in the quiet repetition of daily action. So, as you lie here tonight, I want you to think about your habits, not just the obvious ones, what you eat, how you exercise, how you spend your money, but the mental habits, the stories you tell yourself, the way you talk to yourself when you fail, the way you react to setbacks, to criticism, to uncertainty. These are the habits that shape your reality, day after day, year after year. Let's do a quick experiment. Think back to a time when you faced a setback, a failure, a rejection, a moment when things didn't go your way. What was your first reaction? Did you blame yourself? Did you blame someone else? Did you give up, or did you try again? Now imagine if you could change that reaction, not by force, but by practice. Imagine if every time you faced a setback, you paused, took a breath, and asked yourself, what can I learn from this? What's the next step? How can I use this to get better? This is the hidden mechanic of manifestation. It's not about avoiding failure. It's about using failure as fuel. It's about seeing every obstacle as a stepping stone, every setback as a lesson. The people who master this are the ones who build resilience, who develop grit, who keep going long after everyone else has quit. But let's not romanticize it. This process is hard, it's messy, it's often lonely. There will be nights when you want to give up, when the vision feels too far away, when the old patterns feel too strong. That's when you need to remember why you started. That's when you need to come back to this practice, to this moment, to this breath. Let's return to your vision. Picture it again, as vividly as you can. See the details, feel the emotions, hear the sounds. Now imagine a version of yourself who has already lived this vision. What advice would they give you right now? What would they tell you about the journey? About the setbacks, about the moments when you wanted to quit? Listen for the answer. It might be quiet, it might surprise you. Here's a secret most people won't tell you. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is not filled with motivation, it's filled with discipline. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's showing up day after day when the excitement has worn off and all that's left is the work. It's the difference between wishing for a new life and building one. But discipline isn't about punishment. It's not about grinding yourself into the ground. It's about making choices moment by moment that align with your vision. It's about saying yes to what matters and no to what doesn't. It's about creating boundaries, protecting your energy, and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. Let's make this real. Tomorrow, when you wake up, you'll have a choice. You can slip back into the old patterns, the worry, the doubt, the endless scrolling, or you can take one small step toward your vision. Maybe it's as simple as making your bed, drinking a glass of water, writing down your goals. Maybe it's something bigger, having a difficult conversation, applying for a job, starting a new project. Whatever it is, do it with intention. Do it as a signal to yourself that you're serious about change. And when the resistance comes, and it will, don't fight it. Don't judge it. Just notice it. Name it. Then take the next step anyway. This is how you build mental toughness, not by avoiding discomfort, but by moving through it, one breath at a time. There's a paradox at the heart of all this. The more you try to control every detail of your life, the more anxious you become. The more you let go of the need for certainty, the more freedom you find. This doesn't mean giving up on your dreams. It means trusting the process, trusting yourself, trusting that you can handle whatever comes. As you lie here, let that paradox settle in. You are both the architect and the builder of your life. You can design the blueprint, but you also have to lay the bricks one by one. Some nights the work will feel easy. Other nights it will feel impossible. But every night, you have a choice. You can feed the old patterns or you can build new ones. Let's end this section with a simple practice. As you breathe in, say to yourself, I am building. As you breathe out, say, one step at a time. Repeat this a few times, letting the words sink in. This is your mantra, your anchor, your reminder that change is possible even when it feels slow. There's a moment just before sleep when the world goes quiet. The noise fades, the distractions fall away, and you're left with nothing but your own thoughts. This is the moment most people dread. It's when the doubts creep in, when the regrets replay, when the mind tries to convince you that nothing will ever change. But tonight, you're going to use this moment differently. Tonight, you're going to plant a seed. Think of your mind as a garden. Every thought, every belief, every memory is a seed. Some seeds grow into flowers, confidence, hope, resilience. Others grow into weeds, fear, self-doubt, regret. Most people spend their lives watering the weeds, not because they want to, but because it's what they've always done. They replay the same stories, the same failures, the same disappointments, night after night, year after year. And then they wonder why nothing ever blooms. But here's the truth. You can choose which seeds to water. You can choose which stories to tell. You can choose every night to plant something new. It won't happen overnight. Gardens take time. Seeds need patience, care, and the right conditions. But if you show up, if you keep planting, if you keep watering, something will grow. Something always grows. Let's do this together. As you lie here, bring your vision to mind one last time. See it, feel it, hear it. Now, imagine planting it in the soil of your mind. Picture yourself tending to it, pulling out the weeds, giving it sunlight, protecting it from storms. Some nights the work will be easy. Other nights it will feel pointless. But every night you're building something. Every night you're moving closer. There's a hidden mechanic at work here, one that most people never see. Your brain is constantly rewiring itself even as you sleep. It's called neuroplasticity, the ability of your mind to change, to adapt, to grow new connections. Every thought you think, every image you hold, every emotion you feel leaves a trace. Over time, those traces become pathways, and those pathways become habits, and those habits become your life. But here's the uncomfortable math. If you spend your nights replaying old failures, you're wiring your brain for more of the same. If you spend your nights building your vision, you're wiring your brain for change. It's not magic, it's biology, and it's happening whether you realize it or not. So tonight, make a choice. Choose to be the gardener, not the bystander. Choose to plant something new, even if it's just a single seed. Choose to believe, not in the fantasy of instant results, but in the reality of slow, steady growth. Let's zoom out for a moment. Why does this matter right now? Why should you care about what happens in your mind before bed? Because the world is changing faster than ever. The old systems are breaking down. The rules are being rewritten. The people who thrive in this new world are not the ones with the most talent, the most money, or the most connections. They're the ones who can adapt, the ones who can learn, unlearn, and relearn, the ones who can build new habits, new beliefs, new lives from the inside out. This is the real power of manifestation. It's not about bending the universe to your will. It's about bending yourself, your mind, your habits, your choices toward the life you want. It's about becoming the kind of person who can handle success, who can handle failure, who can keep going when things get hard. And here's the final irony. The dream life you're chasing is not a destination, it's a direction. It's not something you arrive at once and for all. It's something you build, night after night, step by step, breath by breath. Some nights you'll feel like you're making progress. Other nights you'll feel lost, stuck, uncertain. That's normal. That's part of the process. So as you drift toward sleep, let go of the need for certainty. Let go of the need for guarantees. Trust that the work you've done tonight matters, even if you can't see the results yet. Trust that every seed you plant, every habit you build, every step you take is moving you closer, even if the path isn't always clear. Before you let go completely, ask yourself one last question. What's the story you want to tell about your life? Not the story you've been handed, not the story you've inherited, but the story you want to write. Maybe it's a story of resilience, of courage, of quiet determination. Maybe it's a story of transformation, of breaking cycles, of building something new. Whatever it is, hold it close. Let it guide you. Let it shape your choices, your habits, your dreams. And as you fall asleep, remember this: the mind is always listening. The seeds you plant tonight will grow in ways you can't yet imagine. The work you do in the dark will bloom in the light. The life you want is not out of reach. It's already taking root, right here, right now, in the quiet moments before sleep. But don't take my word for it. Test it. Show up tomorrow. Plant another seed. Take another step. See what happens. The results may not come overnight. They may not come in the way you expect, but they will come if you keep going. And if you ever find yourself doubting, if you ever wonder whether any of this matters, remember this: the only way to guarantee nothing changes is to do nothing. The only way to guarantee failure is to stop trying. But if you keep showing up, if you keep planting, if you keep building, you give yourself a chance to grow, a chance to change, a chance to live the story you want to tell. So, as you drift off, let that thought linger. What seeds will you plant tonight? What story will you write tomorrow? The answer is yours and yours alone.